Welcome to online classes with Yoga Cheryl. Today we will be working on a prone backbend sequence with the intention to help strengthen the muscles that lie along the spine and the lower back and the upper buttock area. So the props that we need for today will be a strap and a blanket. You're always welcome to take a bolster under the knees at the end of practice if you wish. And we're going to do a lot of movement today that we are lying on the belly, so make sure that you have a blanket if you're on a hardwood floor. Even if you're on carpet, it's nice to have extra padding. So let's get started. Our first pose will be Supta Padangusthasana. So before we start to strengthen the muscles in the back, it's a good idea to loosen up the hamstrings. So I've got a strap here. I'm going to lay down on my back. And to start out, I'm going to get my strap ready. Bring the right knee into the chest. Take the strap across the ball of the foot and extend the leg toward the ceiling. My hands are reaching up towards the strap and wrap my hands with the strap, making sure the leg is straight and the shoulders are still on the floor. And then extend the opposite leg out and down. So with the strap across the ball of the foot, it's going to help to stretch the calf, and the leg being extended will help to stretch the hamstring. Now oftentimes, if this is a challenging posture for us, we might be tempted to pull the leg up and bend the knee. So if your legs are tight, you can always make the strap longer and let the leg move away from the head. Also be careful that you're not arching the back in the position. So think about drawing the belly toward the spine and letting the spine settle more closely to the floor. So just hold here for a few more breaths. And then release the knee to the chest. Extend that leg to the floor. Take a moment to notice the difference between the right and left legs. Before bringing the left knee into the chest, taking the strap across the foot, flexing through your ankle, making sure knee is straight and arms are straight. Belly in, right leg heavy, and hold and breathe. Lifting up from the sit bone toward the heel. And then folding that knee to the chest and releasing the leg down to the floor. And then from that position, go ahead and bend the knees. Just take a few active bridge poses here. Hands are going to go down on the floor, palms down. Make sure that the feet are on the sticky mat, so if the blanket's in the way, you can shift that. And take a breath in. Pick the pelvis straight up toward the ceiling, tuck the tailbone toward the back of the knee, and then release the hips back down to the floor. Let's do that a few times. So inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, press straight up, use thighs, quads, and hamstrings and buttock to lift, exhale to lower, and then come up and hold. So belly lifting, tailbone releasing, pressing back into the floor with the arms and the hands and the feet. And then releasing to the floor. Taking a moment just to be in constructive rest. One knee comes to chest, the other knee as well. Give the ankles a few turns. Rock a little bit from side to side. And then roll yourself to your side to push yourself up to a seated position. All right. So sit now, cross-legged, just to let the spine move through some different ranges of motion to prepare for these prone back bends. First, we're going to do a seated cat and cow movement. So the hands are going to start on the knees. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, tuck your tailbone under, round your back, belly pulls in, look down at the floor. As you're breathing in, hands slide back towards the hips, the heart lifts, and the back arches. So exhale into cat. Inhale into the cow tilt. Making sure there's no pain, keep going. There's no pain in either one of these movements. Good, one more time. Exhale into cat, rounding. Inhale into cow, arching. From cow, relax into the middle so that you feel nice and tall. And then let the right hand come to the floor beside you. Fold the elbow toward the hip, shoulder is relaxed. Then let the left arm come forward and up and side bend. Keep both hips on the floor. Exhale to release. Inhale, the other side, and exhale to release. Inhale, side bend, exhale, releasing. Inhale, and exhale, last time. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. And then from this position, coming into a rotation with the spine. So on the inhalation, let the arms reach straight up over the head. On the exhalation, turn to the right, left hand to right knee, right hand behind you, and turn. Belly, ribs, chest, head. Inhale back to the center, and exhale, turning to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right. Use the arms for support. Inhale, lift. And exhale to the left. Last time. Inhale, lift. Exhale to the right. Inhale, lift. And exhale to the left. Inhale, center. And exhale, bring hands to heart. Let's lean forward now. Bring the chest forward. Keep the zippers long. So this pants zipper, that space between the pubic bone and the belly button, as well as the space between the belly button and the top of the throat, which would be your jacket zipper, are nice and long. You're just leaning forward, stretching the back, stretching the hips. And then coming back, changing the cross of the ankles, lifting up and coming forward for a few more breaths. Keep the head lifted up. And then sitting up all the way. We're going to come down onto the belly now. For just a moment in a Sphinx position to stretch the back. So if you could lay on the belly, I've got my ribs and my knees on the blanket. Bring the elbows under your armpits. Instead of letting yourself sink with the chest toward the floor, lift the heart, press down through the forearms, and lengthen both legs behind you. So you're creating a nice sense of lift through the spine. And just hold here for a minute. If you feel like your back is being pulled, you can lift the belly away from the floor Just stretching the front of the spine now. Good. And then releasing to the floor into crocodile or makarasana position, hands under the forehead, elbows out to the sides. And you can shake your hips side to side just to relax things. Come to stillness. Take a breath or two into the back of the kidney area, that space between the ribs and hips. And then bring the hands into a cobra position so that the thumbs are at the bra line, elbows squeeze in, and push yourself up into hands and knees position. So from hands and knees position, I'm going to bring my hands onto the mat. And from here, we're going to do a little bird dog. So this is more of a strengthener for the back of the body. And with bird dog, the idea is that you're going to let your right leg go back. You're not lifting your hip. You're keeping your heel reaching and your hip level. And then you're going to let your left fingertips reach forward. So my foot and my hand are still on the floor. And I'm just noticing my balance. This is stage 1. And then we come back to the center. Make sure the knees don't start to creep together. Keep them as wide as the hips. Left leg goes back. Right leg goes forward. Belly pulls in. Try not to let the chest sink down between the shoulders or between the arms. So holding here, taking a breath in, and then breathing out and coming back to center. So again, that's stage 1. You're welcome to continue doing stage 1 or continue on with stage 2, which would be either lifting the leg or lifting the hand. So the right leg's going to go back and the left hand is going to come forward. Find your balance first and then experiment with taking the right foot off the floor. You're pushing back through the heel. Don't lift it higher or bend the knee, so no higher than your hip, reaching back long through the leg. And then lay that back down and try reaching the arm forward. And it can be any amount. It doesn't have to be all the way up to shoulder's height, but that would be as high as you'd want to take it. So taking some breaths there and then coming back to the center. So if you're having difficulty with your shoulders, I would not take the arms off the floor because it's going to put more pressure on the arm that you're still bearing weight on. Same thing with the low back. If you're having difficulty with your low back, I'd probably keep the legs down on the ground. So we'll try the other side. Left leg back, right hand forward. Nice firm frame through the shoulders. Lift up the left leg. Notice your balance. See how that feels. Lay it back down and then lift just the right arm. Reach long and see how it feels. Keep looking at the floor. And then bring both of them back to center. And that would be stage 2. Now you can probably guess what stage 3 is going to be. We will lift both the arm and the leg off the ground. You do not want to lift the arm and leg on the same side of the body, however, because that will tip you over. So make sure the knees are still wide. They tend to creep together. Right leg goes back, left hand goes forward. Find your frame, balancing on the other hand and foot. Lift the right leg and lift the left arm. Try to stay very stable here. Lengthening long from hand to foot as opposed to high. And then release. And then left leg, right hand, and lift. Lengthening, keeping the belly engaged, and release. So 3 more times. We're going to go into whichever stage we prefer. On the inhale, you'll go right to it. On the exhale, you'll come back to center. So inhale, this would be stage 3. Exhale, release. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now you're welcome to hold those positions for longer if you like. So we're going to try that now. Go back to the same position and hold. Feel the frame of the body and then release. Other side. And release. Widen your knees. Relax back into child's pose. Bring the hands under the head or let the hands come beside your feet. Good. And then hands in front of the knees. Push up the torso. Bring the hands onto the mat and lay back down onto your belly. So as I come back down, my hands are again in this, thumbs are right under the bra line. Elbows are going to squeeze in, lengthening my legs back. And I'm going to push myself up gently into Cobra Position a few times. So when we start out with this movement, you can use a lot of arm strength if the back feels weak. As you get better at it and it becomes more easy, you can start to use less arm strength and more back strength to pull yourself up. So as you're inhaling, make sure you're pressing the pubic bone down to the floor. Legs are heavy and long. And inhale and start to push yourself up any amount. So here would be fine, all the way up to elbows slightly bent. And then exhale and come back down to the floor. Inhale, push. And exhale, release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Feel the whole spine moving up in increments. Last time, heavy pelvis. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then come back to crocodile, hands under head. And shake the muscles of the back and buttocks. And then rest in stillness. And then from that position, your choice to either go back into child's pose or to do a downward facing dog to stretch the back. So downward facing dog, nice wide shoulders, make sure that the hands and feet are on your sticky mat and lift up those knees and lengthen the spine back. You can always walk your dog a little bit to open up your calves. You can always bend your knees. Good, and then release back to those knees. Okay, so the next stage would be doing Locust Position, which is the same idea as the bird dog, except for this time we're going to lay on the stomach. So if you come all the way down to your belly again, and this time don't put your chin down, but rest on the forehead. And you can always put the hands under the head for the beginning of this while we work on the legs. So I'm going to have my head lifted so that you can hear me, but typically you would be resting with the head down. So the idea here is that we're going to lengthen the legs back. Try to be on the center of your knees, the tops of the feet with the legs together. And as you're breathing in, you're going to lengthen and lift one leg, and then release. And then inhale and lift the other leg. And exhale to release. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, right side. Exhale, release. Inhale, left side. Exhale, release. Keep your pubic bone pushing down. Inhale, right side. Exhale, release. Inhale, left side, and exhale to release. Very nice. I'm just going to move back on my mat just a little bit to show the arm position. So the arm position is a bit different. Forehead is down on the mat. If you have space and the shoulder flexibility, you're going to let the arm come out to the side and over the head, and then back out and down. If that doesn't work or you don't have room, the arm can also come up the side of the body and reach forward, and the side of the body and reach down. So let's do that first. Lengthen both legs. Right here at the pubic bone, push down. The arms and the head are going to lift together. So inhale, right arm, and I'm going to use that secondary version because my shoulder likes it better. Exhale, release. Inhale, left arm, and exhale to release. Inhale, right arm, and exhale to release. Inhale, left arm, and exhale. One more. Inhale, right. Exhale, release. Inhale, left. And exhale to release. Very nice. So next is going to be, I'm sure you can guess, both. You're going to move opposite arm and opposite leg. So if you need to rest between, you can always just shake the hips out a little bit. And then when you're ready, forehead down. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale, release. Inhale, left leg, right arm. And exhale, center. Pubic bone heavy. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, release. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Very good. One more. First side. Second side. And rest. And shake. All right. We're going to do one more version of this. Let's just scoot forward again. And this is a full locust. Instead of having the arms over the head, kind of like a Superman position, we're actually going to do the arms beside the body and lift the arms straight up and reach back. So you're trying to pull the chest away from the floor. At the same time, we're going to lift up the legs. So drop the pubic bone down, lengthen both legs, and take both feet up off the floor. Lift both arms and reach back towards your feet. And then release. Inhale, lift, arms, feet, reaching hands back. Exhale, release. One more, we'll hold for a minute here. Lifting, upper body, lower body, and hold, and breathe. Very nice. Take another breath in, and a breath out, and a little shake side to side. And hands to chest, picking up the body, child's pose, or downward dog. We're going to come into child's pose this time. Stretch the hips back. So next I'd like to show you a version of something called the Flying Locust. This is sort of a fun variation on Locust Position. And we're going to again start from the belly, but we'll also have the hands in a Cobra Position. So this is to help with the balance right to left. So as I lay down on my stomach, my head is going to be lifted slightly, starting out by lifting the right leg and then bringing the left foot under the right shin. Now the higher up the leg the foot comes, the more high the leg goes. So you can play with how high you want to take that leg. You're just going to hold yourself here, using your hands to help you balance, and then releasing all the way back down. And then the other side, left leg, right knee bends, coming up under the knee. Holding the breath, not holding the breath, holding the pose without holding the breath. and then releasing back down. Very good. And then back to rest. And a little shake. And then hands under your chest. Pull yourself up. Take those toes under. Back into a downward dog or a child's pose. And releasing to the knees. All right. So the next position is to release the back after all of that work in the prone back bends. So here, if you could find your strap, come back onto your back. And this time, keep your hips on the floor. Bring both knees to the chest. Place the strap across the balls of both of your feet. So reaching the feet up into the strap. This is not about stretching your hamstrings, so I don't want you to try to pull your feet up over the head. This is more about releasing the back muscles. So you might even need to bend your knees a little bit. Keep your sacrum flat on the mat. Balancing the legs right above your hips. Shoulders relaxed, belly in, as if you've got a little weight sitting on the abdomen. So just letting everything kind of sink back, using the weight of the legs to help relax the upper buttock and low back. And then go ahead and bend your knees. Feet to the floor. Let's take a gentle twist for the low back now. So scoot the hips to the right. Bring the knees to the chest. Allow the legs to move to the left. You're welcome to put a bolster here or a blanket here or not use any props. Right arm reaches back, left hand holds the legs down. Feel the length along the right side of the back. And then lift up the top leg, then the bottom leg. Feet come to the floor. Hips in the center to start out. And then hips shift left, knees to chest. Legs go right. Right hand on top, left arm reaching back. If you have to decide between keeping the back shoulder down or putting the knees together, choose the back shoulder. The knees don't have to touch, but it's more comfortable if the back shoulder stays on the ground. Now feel this breath along the left side of the waist and back. and then releasing to center. From this position, notice if you feel like you need a bolster under the knees, and if so, please take it. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and lie down in Shavasana. So extending the legs. Relaxing the legs out. Hands can rest on the abdomen or the arms by the sides. So feel that strong internal structure within you of your spine. And in Shavasana, there's a gentle curve of the lumbar spine away from the floor, as is there a gentle curve in the cervical spine of the back of the neck away from the floor. Feel the breath flow through, letting the body sink into the support of the earth. And then take a deep breath in and a relaxed breath out as you wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bend one knee and the other knee. Roll to the side. Use the hands to push yourself back up to a seated position. Bring your hands to heart. Thank you for taking the time to practice today. Namaste.